On the day 61, I hatched bunch of Eutyrannus eggs. Also my carbos were fully grown, but they were hungry, so I filled the feeding trough of my carbos. Then I started leveling them up. I had to go underwater very soon. Then I found and tamed another Parlovia for some unknown reason. I started breeding the Parlovias before I go out to farm hide. Then I went out and started farming hide. Hide was the only resource I was having trouble getting lots of because I did not have an obvious farm. I went back to my base after this run and crafted 2 Yuri saddles and then 2 Megatherium saddles. It was quite expensive and I needed 16 of them for the Alpha Broodmother boss fight. Then I claimed Parlovia babies. I think I had a plan for them for later, but I couldn't remember at this point. My Therizzinos were also growing up for the boss fight. Then I farmed a bunch of raw metal and then started melting them. My front yard was full of all kind of dinos I would need in days to come. On this iceberg, I was pretty safe to leave them around. Nothing spawned here. Then I started strapping ascended saddles and leveling the boss killer Megatheriums. They were all ready, but the saddles were missing. I needed to farm lots and lots of hide to craft a saddle for each. So I went back to farming hide. At the end of the day, I crafted more Megatherium saddles. Then I went back to the swamp cave. I needed to get stacked on chitin because they can be turned into cementing paste for the Megatherium saddles. After I ran the cave, I had almost unlimited chitin. Next day, I lined up all of my boss killer dinos and took a good look at them. I felt proud. Then I farmed more hide. And then I found an ovis. I grabbed it and then tamed it. I could have harvested it, but I chose to wait for a breeding pair. Then I went back to the redwood forest with my dire bear ready. First, I picked up some tree saps, and then I farmed so much honey with the dire bear. Because of the overspawning of the beehives, it was quite easy and really quick to gather hundreds of honey jars. And then I went back to my base and started cooking sweet vegetable cakes, hundreds of cakes. Melting raw metal was taking too long, so I crafted another industrial forge and then placed it. Then I spent the rest of the day farming metal, and that filled half of the new industrial forge. Then I kept farming and filled the new industrial forge with the metal completely. But I also wanted to keep farming more metal and fill the first one again. I kept farming metal, but when I was out and about, I saw another ovis. I quickly checked it with my spyglass and it was not a male, so I couldn't start an ovis farm. I still grabbed it and started flying back to my base, and in the middle of the flight I forgot to check my stamina and I started going down. I had to struggle a bit to keep myself safe and keep the ovis alive in the middle of the frozen land where the dangerous creatures roam. I got myself out of this situation and then I finished crafting Megatherium saddles for every single one of them. Strapped them on the Megatheriums one by one and then started cryoing them. I was ready to head out to face the Alpha Broodmother. We started flying towards the green obelisk in the night and we arrived just in time. I threw out all of my tames and started waiting for them to wake up, and I placed every single artifact and every single tribute the Alpha Broodmother requires. After a while they were ready and then I started the boss fight. And there was the Alpha Broodmother. And then there it was. The Alpha Broodmother got killed by my boss killer Megatheriums. I did suffer some losses that I was not expecting because of the capped saddles, but these were only bred few times and was pretty close to a fresh tame. I realized killing the Alpha Broodmother cost me 8 Megatheriums. I did save some of the Ascendant saddles but lost a few in the heat of the battleground. I packed up my dinos and went back to my base. I had the ability to craft a tech replicator, but I had more important stuff to do first. I had to craft 16 Ascendant Terzino saddles for the Alpha Megapithecus boss fight. So I crafted 10 saddles with the resources I had, then strapped them on the Terzinos. Then I slaughtered one of the offices I had, and it only gave me 10,000 hide. I farmed 5,000 hide outside, and then I remembered why I tamed and bred Perlovias. They yield so much hide, way better than anything I had except Ovis, of course. And I crafted 5 more Terzino saddles and finished all 16 of them. The Terzino saddles were ready, but they were recently grown, so they had no time to gain enough passive experience to be useful. So I had to use unclaimed dinos to level them up. Best I had was a Eutyrannus, so I started sacrificing them to level up the Terzinos. It was decent enough.